Hello and welcome. We're going to focus today on just a single, incredibly powerful moment. Seriously, it's just 2 words in the original Hebrew that unlocks a massive cosmic secret about our identity and how we show up in the world. We are talking about that exact instant Joseph is ripped from a dungeon to stand before Pharaoh. All right, let's get into it. So we're going to take a journey through this single moment using the ancient Pardes model, which is just a beautiful way of understanding things on every level. We'll start with the pshat. That's the simple, what you see is what you get story. Then we'll dig for the remez, the allegorical clues hidden just beneath the surface. After that, we'll hit the drash, the bigger ethical picture. And then finally, we're going to land in the sod, the deep mystical secret. It's a full journey from a simple wardrobe change to the actual engineering of the soul. Okay, so let's start at level 1, the pshat. The straight-up literal story. Joseph, a forgotten prisoner, is about to become the most powerful man in the kingdom. But first things first, he's got to look the part. All right, I want you to really picture this scene with me. Let's call it 4K heritage vision. Imagine that dungeon. It's not just dark, it's a damp, bone-chilling cold that seeps into you. The air is thick, stale. It smells like mildew and hopelessness. And there's Joseph. He's thin, his hair is a tangled mess, his beard wild from years of neglect. His clothes, they're not even clothes, they're just coarse, filthy rags. And then you hear it, the sound of a heavy iron bolt scraping open, echoing off the stone walls. The royal guard is there, and the flickering torchlight catches the confusion on Joseph's face. They've come with a summons that is about to change everything. And the transformation that happens next is just immediate and total. They bring water. You can almost hear the splash as it hits his skin, washing away years of grime. Then you hear the sharp snip of shears. That hair and beard, the very things that marked him as an outsider, a Hebrew slave, are cut away. He is being made to conform to the polished, clean-shaven standards of the Egyptian court. And then that rough prison sackcloth is literally stripped off of him. And in its place, they wrap him in fine, clean, brilliant white Egyptian linen. This is so much more than just getting cleaned up. It is a violent shedding of an old identity. And this really frames the whole thing, doesn't it? This is not just about looks. It's about a complete shift in his operational reality. He's moving from darkness and concealment to light and revelation, from the identity of the pit to the identity of the palace. The garment itself is the physical boundary line between these two worlds. And this whole physical act is actually a perfect metaphor for a much, much deeper cosmic mechanism, one that governs how our inner soul actually connects with the outside world. So let's go to the next level and see how this thing is built. Okay, so now we're stepping into the world of remez, the world of allegory. And you have to understand, in Kabbalistic thinking, a garment, what they call a levush, is never ever just a piece of cloth. It is a piece of complex spiritual technology. You know, the Zohar, in a passage from Orna Arav, gives us this incredible analogy. It says the stories in the Torah, those are its levush, its garment. And it says fools, they only see the story, right? They only see the garment. But the wise don't look at the garment. They look at the body underneath it. And the wisest of all, they see the soul that gives life to that body. So the levush is the medium. It's the interface through which a deeper reality gets expressed and understood. So here it is. Here's our main tech analogy for this level. I want you to think of Joseph's soul, his wisdom, his dream-interpreting ability, as the source code. It's perfect, it's unchanging. His garments? That's the operating system. That's the UI. So in the dungeon, he was running Prisoner OS. It was a totally restricted, firewalled system, zero access to the main network. Now, before he can talk to the sysadmin, that's Pharaoh, he needs a serious upgrade. He's shedding a restricted user account, and he's about to log in with full root access, running Royal Court OS. The hardware, his soul, is exactly the same, but the interface changes absolutely everything. And this brings us right to the drash level, the ethical and practical dimension. Why is this external change so critical? I mean, why is it non-negotiable? Why can't Joseph just show up as he is with all his inner wisdom? Well, the answer gets at a really fundamental principle of honor and respect for the system that he's about to plug into. The Zohar is just crystal clear on this. It all comes down to kavod hamelech, the honor of the king. To stand before royalty, to interface with the central processing unit of an entire kingdom, your vessel has to be appropriate. You just can't pour a rare $1,000 bottle of wine into a dirty, cracked cup. It doesn't work. The external vessel has to be prepared to properly hold and reveal the precious light that's inside, and just as importantly, it has to honor the environment it's about to enter. This chart just lays out the mechanics of it so perfectly. Look, Joseph's inner essence, his or primini, his inner light, it's constant. The wisdom he had in the pit is the same wisdom he has in the palace. But the levush, his outer garment, that's the variable that changes the entire equation. It's what mediates his reality. In the pit, his rags enforce a state of helem, which means total concealment. His wisdom is locked away. But before Pharaoh, the new royal garment facilitates gilui, full revelation. His perceived identity instantly shifts from slave to sage, not because his soul changed, but because his interface did. And that right there is the crucial pivot from mere existence to active governance.
All right, and now we get to the deepest level, the sod, the secret. We're going to stop looking at this as a story about a man. Instead, we're going to see this entire drama as a living, breathing map of the Sephirot, the divine emanations that literally structure all of reality.
Okay, so in the Kabbalistic schematic of everything, Joseph the Righteous, Yosef HaTzadik, he is the living embodiment of the Sephira of Yesod, which means foundation. Think of Yesod as the main conduit, the channel. All of the divine creative energy from the higher realms gets funneled through Yesod right before it becomes physical in our world. It represents pure, raw, unadulterated spiritual power. That is Joseph's inner light.
And the world Joseph is about to walk into, Pharaoh's kingdom, that is the Sephirah of Malchut, or kingship. Malchut is the final vessel. It's unique because it has no light of its own. Its entire existence is just a reflection of the light it receives from all the Sephirot above it, and it receives that light primarily through Yesod. So here's the bottom line. For the light of Yesod, that's Joseph, to properly manifest and bring order and blessing to Malchut, that's Egypt, it needs a compatible vessel. It needs the right interface.
So let's break down the cosmic engineering that's actually happening here. Step 1. In the prison, the intense light of Yesod is trapped. The prison rags are what you'd call a broken vessel, a vessel of concealment. Step 2. The act of changing garments is Yesod itself, Joseph's essence, actively building a new, rectified interface so it can connect to Malchut, the kingdom. And this is where it gets really amazing. The great Kabbalists, like the Ari, teach that this new garment acts like something called a chashmal, a spiritual transformer, or a divine firewall. It steps down the intense raw energy of Yesod, making it usable and safe for the world of Malchut, while also protecting that pure light from being corrupted. And with that new interface in place, boom, step 4. The divine flow is restored, concealment becomes governance. Okay, wow, that was incredibly deep. So let's bring this down to earth. Let's make these profound ideas really practical and accessible by translating them into a couple of different analogies for different kinds of minds. So for our younger audience, or really for the gamer in all of us, think about it like this. Joseph is a high-level character, right? He's level 99. His wisdom and prophecy stats are totally maxed out. But he's been stuck in the tutorial dungeon wearing the default level 1 burlap armor. You just can't walk into the final boss chamber, the throne room, wearing starter gear. The game won't let you.
So the changing of the garments, it's literally the new item unlocked screen popping up. He's equipping a legendary armor set, the Royal Vizier skin. And this new gear isn't just cosmetic, right? It comes with perks. It grants him a plus 100 buff to his charisma stat, and it unlocks a crucial ability, Speak to Royalty. He's finally equipped for the endgame content.
Okay, now for a more technical, adult analogy, let's think in terms of cosmic engineering. Joseph's soul, his essence of Yesod, is like a high-voltage power plant generating an immense amount of raw energy. And the world of Malchut, the royal court, the entire kingdom, is like a sophisticated, delicate piece of electronic equipment. You cannot plug a nuclear power plant directly into your iPhone. You will fry the entire system. The Levushim, the garments, they are the transformers. The prison rags are a broken, busted transformer, just constricting all the energy. The changing of the garments is a multi-stage upgrade. First, the washing and the white linen, that's the sphera of Keset, pure loving kindness, a total purification, wiping the slate clean. Then he's given the royal garments, gold, royal blue. The gold represents Tiferet, which is balanced, harmonious beauty, and also the authority of Gevura, or strength.
This is the correctly calibrated transformer that steps down the high-voltage energy of Yesod into a stable current that Malchut can actually use to function, to thrive, to be blessed. And even the number 2 here is so significant. He sheds one state and he dawns another. The number 2, in mysticism, almost always points to this kind of transition between two totally distinct realities. In this case, he's shifting from a world defined by human judgment and confinement to a world of divine providence and rulership. It's a fundamental binary switch in a spiritual state, from 0 to 1, from off to on, from hidden to revealed. So we've journeyed all the way through the story, the allegory, the ethics, and the deepest mystical secrets. But what does any of this mean for us, for you and me, right here, right now? How do we take this incredible cosmic lesson and actually apply it in our lives? Well, the great masters of Kabbalah teach that we are, right now, constantly weaving our own spiritual garments. Our thoughts? That's the blueprint, that's the design. Our speech, every single word that comes out of our mouth? Those are the threads that give our garment its color and its texture. And our actions, our deeds in the world, that is the loom itself, weaving those thoughts and words into a tangible reality. Every choice you make, every act of kindness, every true word we speak is weaving a garment of pure light, a levush that lets our soul's true potential shine through. And of course, the opposite is also true. Negative choices, they weave garments of concealment. They weave our own personal prison rags. So the ultimate takeaway here is that you get to choose what you wear. You are the weaver of your own reality. The question this story really leaves us with isn't if we're wearing a garment. We all are. The question is, what kind of garment are we choosing to create today? One that conceals us in our own self-made dungeon, or one that prepares us to stand before kings? Thank you for joining us for this complete journey through the Pardes. We hope these ancient truths help you and your family improve your own dimensions this week. If you enjoyed this full chapter deep dive, please like, subscribe, and share. Which part of the journey touched your soul in the comments? We'll see you in the next chapter.